In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to draw and then paint a hare using watercolour. This is a short version, but if you want to see the full tutorial of both hares, then you'll find that on my Patreon. You just need to search for Scorecart. In this tutorial, I'm still going to take you through step by step, so enjoy the process and let's get started. So what you're going to need is a 6x4 template first. This is literally a bit of paper that was out of a 6x4 inch frame. So all I'm going to do is draw around that because I know it's going to be the right size for the frame we're going to put it in. Doesn't have to be accurate, as you can see. This is a little look ahead. I'm going to talk you through my method that I use for freehand drawing, which is something I called finding the shapes. So we're going to look at the reference photo, find the basic shapes, and then refine the drawing from there. Triangle shape. That shape for the head. And then the ears, which I'm going to say we can make them a bit bigger than they probably are in real life because it's a painting. At the end of the day, you can make your painting look however you want. Okay, so there's the basic shape of the hare. He's actually got quite a big puffy chest on this one, so I'm going to put his chest in, which comes in and around there. Then his little arms, this line becomes his arms then. It's going to get rid of that line. There's his back leg. A bit of a foot in there as well. We're not going to be emphasising all that too much, so I'm not too worried what that looks like right now. We might put some grass in here so it looks like he's sat in it anyway. So then the body can come down following that line, but then it comes a bit more vertically down. And there's probably a little tail there, which you can't really see in the picture, but I'm going to put it in. Again, making my painting look right rather than just following what I can see. So his face. The nose, we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to put that there for his mouth. They have a little bit of a wider cheek and then it comes in. A little bit wider cheek. I'll just rub out some lines because it's getting a bit muddy there. So around that square-ish shape, we've got that shape now for the hare's head. Nose. And we need to put the eyes where they're going to be. Okay, so just jumping in again to tell you that I do actually change the eyes and do a little bit more detail on them afterwards. So do the rest of the face and then we'll catch up and do the eyes in a moment. The front facing picture is more difficult, to be fair. Ears are fine, we'll just do them with the paint. So get rid of those lines. Just have a bit of a line in there for that. I'm about to correct the eyes now. Change my mind about the eyes. So they will have a bit of an eye shape. We're going to start painting after this, so you want to get your paints ready and mixed. We're using Gamboge Hue, which is a nice bright yellow, Burnt Sienna, which is a red-brown, Mauve, which is a purpley colour, and a dark brown. And that's what the 4 starting colours you're going to need. We're also going to need a little bit of a pink colour for later on, so something like a rose madder, and also a Payne's grey for the detail on his face. Start on the body. A bit of yellow down the middle from where the more whiter parts of him are. And I'm just putting little puddles of paint on. Burnt sienna. Next to that yellow. So we want to just touch those 2 colours together like that. And then we want to go around the outsides, around the edges. And then bring the brush across. But don't paint every single bit, leave some white edges. Leave a white edge along here to show where that line for his leg is. And we're also going to leave a white line under his chin so that we can see the bottom of his mouth there. Put a little bit on his tail. I'm just going to switch to a medium brush again because that brush was a little bit big. I would like to make, you see that? I'd like to make some of this orange a bit darker in places, so I'm going to put the burnt sienna on again. This is going from the pan, so the mix is thicker, mix is stronger. Now we're going to go with the mauve. And start to put that in some of the shadowed areas. So under his chin, down the back of his back, around there. Down the back of his arm. A bit on there as well, on his foot. And then also the dark brown where we put the purple, but we don't want to cover up all the purple. So you're just dropping in a little bit of paint on those sections. Put a bit in there. I just think if I move it across there, because can you see it because of the light? Can you see? There's brown, purple in there. I'm going to do his face now. We'll do the same process. We will start with the yellow. That's going to go from around his eyes down across his little nose. Probably paint his actual eye yellow as well, because we're going to have to do that like we did before. And then we want some burnt sienna. Need a bit of water. So leaving some areas of white. We can do the ears now. Take some of that crimson, pinky colour and fill in the ears. More burnt sienna. Around the outsides. The mauve colour. Now, that's a bit strong. Let me show you how to rectify that. Clean brush that's damp. Just touch it on there before it dries and it will take some away. You could even spread that paint you just took off onto the next one. Payne's grey for the tips on the ears. And there's a bit of a detail that goes like that in the ears. Back to the face. Being very cautious when I'm putting this sort of stuff. And again, I think we need to let it dry before we do the eyes. So we'll do the grass again, which is the yellow ochre with a bit of burnt sienna in it. Tufts of grass. So I've just noticed I need to add in some feet. So I've just mixed a little bit of burnt sienna with the burnt umber, and I'm just adding his little paws in between the grass there. Just put some little feet in there. We need to do his eyes now. So nice small brush, bit of Payne's grey. We're going to do that shape and that shape. And then we've got some whiskers to put in. They're going to be again in the burnt sienna, and we can go do we need some eyebrow ones? So you want to make sure that that painting is nice and dry before we rub out any of those pencil lines. I'm using a hairdryer. I think the top tip really with using a hairdryer is just use it lightly. You can see I'm moving it a lot. It's not going to do your painting any good if you just hold it in one place and bake it. So just make sure you lightly dry it with the hairdryer before you do take up the pencil lines away. So I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I'd love to see how you got on, so definitely post a picture of the finished hares if you've done them, and hopefully I'll see you on another one. Thanks.